Welcome back, reefers. One of my recent videos, I was talking about my 20-gallon frag tank, and I mentioned that I'm using a AquaClear 70 hang on the back filter, which I had pretty much converted into a small Cheato reactor. And I've been meaning to do a closer look at that, show you how I did it, and somebody had recently posted a comment asking about it, so yeah, now's the perfect time. So this is, you probably recognize one of these. This is an AquaClear 70 hang on the back filter. Been around the hobby forever, I think. These things are really our workhorses. They're highly configurable. You can get spare parts are readily available. Very reliable, and you know it's a great tool. I've got several of these things, and I've used them in a lot of different configurations. So on my 20-gallon tank here, I think this is working perfectly. I'm using it mainly to generate flow in the aquarium. It does a pretty good job at that. You can see I've got it mounted here on the side, and I've also got a few other things here. I'm using it as a mounting point for my Smart ATO Micro. So you can see the little sensor there and the tubing there where the auto top-off water comes in. So it's serving that purpose, and more importantly, it's also being used as filtration and doing some mechanical and some biological filtration. And I'm going to just show you how it is all set up, and I'll pull these pieces out and just kind of show you because I do want to show you what media basket I'm using. So I am using an InTank media basket. Don't know the model number, I'll have to look it up. But it's made for these AquaClear 70 filters, and this is a really nice little thing. I've had it for a few years now. And they're a little bit expensive, but really good quality, and it does exactly what I need it to do. So this is the input comes in to the first chamber. And I just have a little bag of ChemiPure Blue or Elite, I forget. Got it as a sample, so that's just kind of sitting in there. And then the water would pass into the second chamber, which I have some filter floss to catch any particles. I've just got another bag of carbon sitting up here. And then it flows into through here, then down into the next chamber, which you can't see, but you'll see it once I take it apart. I've got a little bag of ceramic media down there for some extra biological filtration. Then it comes up into this compartment, where I have a little ball of Cheato, which I've already harvested some out a couple of days ago. About every 1 month, this thing gets so packed, you barely can fit any more in there, so I take about half of it out, and it just kind of grows back. And I've also got a little thermometer in there. Keep track of the temperature in the tank, and yeah, that's about it. I could say that this configuration works really, really well in my experience. The Cheato is working. It's pulling the nutrients out of the tank. The light. I forgot about the light. And this is a MagnaFuge. I'll have to get a closer look at that. I believe it's called a MagnaFuge light. I don't know who makes it. It might be made by someone called MagnaFuge. I forget. But I'll put links down below of where I got all this stuff. And I've got that on a timer, so that comes on at night to do the reverse cycle. But yeah, I think this works great. Oh, and another nice thing about these AquaClear 70 filters, especially on a small tank, they're pretty large. So you can hold about 3/4 of a gallon of water, if you took everything out of there. So if you think about that, on a small tank, say if you had this on a 10-gallon tank, 3/4 of a gallon is what, 7.5% increase in water volume. So 3/4 of a gallon doesn't sound like a lot, but if you've got a nano tank, 7.5% is a pretty good increase. And I have used this on a 10-gallon, and 10-gallon tank you could actually hook fit two side by side along the back, which is how I did it. And yeah, worked pretty good. So all right, I got another one of these, and I'm going to pull out the media basket, show you how it's all configured, and we'll take a closer look. So I've gone ahead and pulled the media basket and the light off of the filter so I can show you that. And this is another one that I have. It's another AquaClear 70. And so this is it pretty much in its stock configuration. This is the standard media basket that it comes with. And I can just pull that out. So typically, you would have some ceramic media in the bottom. This is how it would come. A sponge filter, and then it would come with like a bag of carbon that you could stick on top. And it works fine if you want to use it that way. But if you don't, you've got options. So if I put that aside and take a look, you can see you've got this huge area here to do what you want with. So you could replace the media basket with something like this, which is what I bought from InTank. And let's just put that here. It's a nice piece of acrylic work. I mean, I'm sure you could make something like this on your own, either out of acrylic or egg crate or something like that. But if you don't feel like doing that, you just feel like buying something that's already made and works perfectly, you get one of these. So, like I said, I have got some carbon at the top. I put some filter material in there to catch any particles. Comes in here. I've got some biological ceramic media down there in the bottom. And then this is the magnet. So this light is magnetic. So when that's in there, it can attach the light through the back of the glass. And as you can see, I mean, it's almost as if these were made to go together. I mean, this is like the exact size of these lights line up perfectly to this little container that I'm using for the Cheato. So it's almost like they were made to go together. And this would stick, I'm sorry, it's one hand, it's hard to do this, would stick to the back of the tank with the magnet. And, you know, that's how I'm using this. This acrylic does slide in and out, so you could remove that. So if you didn't want any biological media, you wanted all Cheato, you could pull that out and have more room for that. I've also used this where I didn't put any filtration media here, and that left room to put a small heater. So a small heater would easily fit right in there. So you could have your heater inside of this AquaClear. So you got so many options. But yeah, so if you wanted to use it this way, you just have it set up like that, and then it just slides in. And of course, this would have been inside so that this would sit there. And it works pretty good. All right, so I put the media basket back in the tank because I didn't want it to dry out. But a couple other things I just wanted to cover. I mentioned, you know, spare parts and everything readily available. So say if you wanted to use this as a Refugium, so you could take the media basket out completely and have this large area. You could maybe fill it with some rubble or something like these biocubes. Give a little pod somewhere to hide in. But you don't want this strong flow coming through here. So you can see the impeller down there has got like 6 large blades. And that's good for, you know, a lot of flow if you want to use this as a filter. But if you want to use this as a Refugium, you don't want to just blow all the pods away. So you could buy a smaller impeller. So with the AquaClear line, I believe it's the AquaClear 20, 30, 50, and 70 all share the exact same impeller design, or they're interchangeable. So you could buy the smaller one, which only has 4 small blades for the AquaClear 30, and you pull that one out and just pop this one in, and you could severely limit the flow going through here. So it makes a good use for a Refugium, which I've done before as well. It worked out pretty good. I don't know if the AquaClear 110, which is the much larger one, shares the same one, so you might want to check that if that's what you've got. But yeah, so that's it. Just thought I'd throw that out there. It's a little idea that I had, and it's worked out pretty good for me, and just kind of pay homage to one of these workhorses that I found a million uses for, and I've got, you know, several of these AquaClear 70s on hand. So if I ever set up a quarantine tank and I've got something to throw in there, if I'm just, you know, setting up a Nano tank, I've got something to use there. So million uses for it. And yeah, hope you guys, found this informative and, liked it. And if so, give it a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button because I'm always putting out new videos. And thanks for watching. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Take care.